Hey gang, Fraser here. I have returned from Essen Spiel 2016, an incredible gaming event where over 1,000 new games were released onto the market and into the world. And while I couldn't claim to have played a high percentage of those, I did play almost as much as it's possible for a person to play. I was playing from the moment I got up every day to the moment I went to bed. I was playing new games and it was amazing. I also managed to meet a few of you guys there, so if you're one of those people, hello. It was really nice to meet you. I hope to see you again next year. Okay, this video is the top 5 games that I played there. What does that mean? It means the games essentially that I had the most fun playing while I was there. Bear in mind that this is just for fun. This isn't a review, and I'm not actually saying these games are definitively better than each other or better than anything else I played. It was just while I was there, the experience I had that I enjoyed. You guys asked for this video, so I hope you enjoy it. Let's get to the first one. All right, first up, we've got a game that I expected to like, but didn't expect to like quite as much as I ended up doing. Top That is one of these really silly, slightly dexterous games where speed of your manual dexterity and your thinking comes into play. If you enjoy games like Geistesblitz, this is one you definitely need to check out. If you don't like those type of games, then stay clear of this one. So the twist on this one is just the idea that you've got to do some visual processing on the card that's flipped over, work out quickly which of the objects that you've got in your field you need to have showing and which ones need to be hidden, and then working out a way you can build a structure that's going to conform to those rules. Just fantastic fun, just so much pressure, so many different ways that you can build the structure as well. It was really good fun to see once you'd finished, and seeing other people had also validly built a structure, but in different ways. Really good fun. I didn't manage to pick it up at the Spiel just because of suitcase space, but I will definitely be getting this one and adding it next to Geistesblitz on my shelves because I really enjoyed this. And you might too, so keep an eye out for it. Okay, next up is King Domino, and this wonderful little game probably could have fit on my surprises list as well because I was expecting to enjoy it, but I ended up absolutely loving it. It's really surprising just how much is actually going on in this tiny little bright, colourful, short, easy to learn game. And I mean, what more do you need? So you're drafting these tiles in this really interesting, fun way where you've got meeples and you're putting your meeple onto the tile that you're going to get next turn, and then the tile that you chose in the previous turn you're putting into your little kingdom, which you're slowly growing out and trying to make large contiguous areas that are going to score you loads of points. And everyone that I've played this with, and I've played with a lot of people now, this got a lot of play at Spiel and after Spiel, seems to have the same kind of first game experience where they choose the first tile, they choose the second tile, and they're playing this fun light game, and they're enjoying the colors, and they're enjoying maybe building out their area of water or grain fields or whatever. And then by the 4th or 5th choice, they've started constraining themselves because you can only build up to a 5x5 grid, and they've started constraining themselves, and now they're starting to stress about what they're going to pick next time. They've started to see how important it is to have first pick or an early pick of the next tiles that come out, because they might have had no choice in one of the previous rounds and been lumped with this terrible tile that's now stuck in the middle of their kingdom and they hate it. And they've started to grow out these big, large, nice areas, but they need these crown symbols to actually make those areas worth points, and so they really need those. Amazing. I mean, just a fantastic design with no fat on it. There's just everything, all of the rules that are there for a reason. You can teach this to anyone, but you can play it very casually with, I think you can play it with children easily, with non-gamers, and even with really experienced, heavy gamers are still going to really enjoy this and have a great time with it. Wonderful design, very surprising. Loved the games that we had of it at the Spiel and have enjoyed the ones that I've had since coming back. If you've not looked into this, I would strongly suggest that you try this out if you get the chance, because I think it can be a bit deceptive in terms of how light it looks. Really give it a go. Love King Domino. Can't wait to play more of it. One of the games I was most excited to try and buy at Spiel this year was Inish from Matago. It's the latest game in their big box line. It sits alongside Cyclades and Kemet, which are two games that I absolutely adore. So I was really excited to try this one out. I was also a little bit apprehensive. I was just praying that it was going to be good and not bad, because I'd be so disappointed. And thankfully, I was not disappointed. It certainly met my expectations. It was very different from the other two games, which is a good thing. I would go as far to say that it's the most strategic game that in that line. You really don't necessarily want to be starting fights at all. They can be quite damaging. And in the single game that I had at Spiel, I already saw some really interesting kind of strategies and tactics coming out of it. There was one area that had two very large armies in it, and one of my friends just moved one man into that army, started a clash, and then moved that man away, ran away, and left the two armies brawling and just destroying each other. And of course, those two players could have come to an accord and stopped fighting, but they didn't, and so they just decimated each other's armies. It was really, really interesting stuff. Lots of things to think about. I think it's definitely one of those games that will definitely benefit from repeated play. But I'm very, very happy with it. I've also enjoyed the subsequent plays that I've had of it after coming back from Essen. It does have a few issues, particularly for the new player experience is a bit more difficult compared to the other two games, but we're straying into review territory here. Inish was fantastic, really, really enjoyed it at Essen, and can't wait to play it some more. So everyone was talking about it. It was one of the hottest games of Essen Spiel 2016. Nevertheless, Terraforming Mars wasn't actually quite as high on my list of games that I wanted to see and play as it would have been on other people's. Not that I wasn't interested in it, I was, but I just didn't quite see the appeal. I didn't quite see what it was that made everyone say it was this great, fantastic game based just on the mechanisms. It was really hard to get a game of it because there was only one table, I think, there might have been two, in the whole fair that was demoing this, but I finally managed to sit down on the last day of the fair, near the end. I managed to get a game in, and I'm so glad that I did, because my eyes were opened and I suddenly realized why people were raving about this game so much. So in Terraforming Mars, you are playing against the other players trying to terraform Mars. You're doing it for company prestige, which is why you're doing it competitively. It's a bit weird, but okay. And so to terraform Mars, you have to increase the oxygen content of the Mars, and the players that do that the most get more points, right? And increase the temperature of the planet as well. And there are lots of ways in the game that you can achieve that. And that's interesting, okay? It's not mind-blowing, it's interesting. You've also got the planet where you can build cities and forests and oceans, and that, again, is interesting and fun. Where the heart of the game lies, what really makes it great is how you achieve that, and it's all through card play, from playing cards and comboing cards and building a tableau, essentially building this like infrastructure of technologies and buildings and things like that in front of you. And that is just, it's so exciting, and it has your mind thinking from the first turn. You've got a hand of cards. What order are you going to play these in? How are you going to play them? Which ones are you not going to play? What are you going to do? And these cards are going to let you, get more resources and turn those resources into other types of resources, all in the hopes of achieving your goals of essentially terraforming the planet. One of the things that I really enjoyed about this game and really surprised me was actually how thematic it felt. It was really strange how emergent the story of my company was. I had this technology, and it kind of made sense that it was helping me, build this other thing that was then going to help me create more of these resources, that I was then going to, increase the temperature of the planet, which is going to let me put these plants were going to be able to then live on the surface, and that kind of stuff really works. It really works. At one point, I spent a huge amount of resources, which, by the way, are represented by these gorgeous little metallic style cubes, and I just love them. It's embarrassing how much I love these little metal coated cubes. But I spent a huge number of them and managed to bring down a moon of Mars. I brought it down on the planet, crashed it into the planet, and made the heat in the planet skyrocket as the dust cloud insulated the planet. And it felt powerful. Players stopped and were like, "Whoa, what did you just do?" All I've done is play a card. That's all I did. But the thematic connection felt really strong, It felt like a big event because it cost me so much, and it had such a large effect on the game by increasing the heat so much. It also destroyed some of the other players' plants, which actually I didn't enjoy because it felt a bit, take that. I had to choose a player and destroy all of their plants, some of their resources essentially, which I really don't think that kind of thing fits into this style of game, but I'm digressing. Overall, fantastic experience. Really, really happy that that I agree with a lot of the other reviewers that are out there that are saying this is a great game. It really is. I can't wait to play it again. As soon as we were finished, I was thinking about what I would have done differently. I was thinking about all the different cards that I didn't get to see and how different an engine and experience I could have had, an approach I could have done. Couldn't wait to play it again. Thinking about it now makes me want to play it again. So yeah, definitely one of the best games I played this year at Spiel 2016. And the best gaming experience that I had this year at Essen Spiel 2016 will prove to you what a personal list this is. Kanagawa by Bruno Cathala. It was just such a wonderful, pleasant game, and I do wonder if the relaxed feel of playing Kanagawa against the backdrop of the frenzy that is Essen Spiel helped it get to this #1 spot on this list. So in Kanagawa, the theme is that you're a painter in Japan studying under Hokusai, the master painter, and it's got this really interesting mechanism at the start of a round where cards are being laid out on a little bamboo mat, one for each player, and you can choose to take any one of those cards or wait, push your luck essentially. And if you're one of the people that waits, then a second card will be put out and you can decide to take 2 cards, pick from any of those piles, or continue to wait. And then with those cards, you're essentially building out your studio, trying to get more paints and more actions, or you can actually paint the paintings if you've got the right paints and the right actions to do so. And so at the end of the game, you've got this wonderful, just beautiful little panoramic picture, lots of different ways to score. I think one of the things that makes it a pleasant experience and not a stressful experience is it's one of those games that everything you do is good. Yeah, every move that you make is probably going to make you more points or make your studio better or increase your panorama. So it's going to be a good thing to do. If you want to play it well, then you just have to optimize, make sure what you're doing is the best thing to do. But lots of scoring opportunities, lots of different ways to get points. I had a panorama that I had really gone for all of the bonus scoring, and I almost won. The person that did win ended up getting none of the bonus scoring tiles, but just had a really long panorama, all of the same season. It was really, really nice. Really love this. Such a pleasant, wonderful game. I can't imagine giving this one up anytime soon. Looks good on the table, pleasant to play, easy to teach. Can play it with multiple levels of players. People that are new to games will easily be able to learn this one. And gamers will really enjoy the depth that is there, you know. Wonderful. I really, really enjoy that. I've enjoyed the games that I've had since I've got back from Spiel. I think it scales well. So yeah, but nevertheless, at Essen, that was definitely one of the most pleasant experiences I had playing any game there. That's Kanagawa by Bruno Cathala. And that's it, gang. That's the top 5 games of Essen Spiel 2016 that I played. Do bear in mind, obviously, this was just a bit of fun. It's something you guys asked for, and it really is just based on the 1 play or 2 plays that I had at the fair. And I'm totally reserve the right to change my opinions on all of these games at any point in the future. If you enjoyed that, then you might want to check out the top 5 biggest surprises that I had in Essen Spiel 2016, a video that's already been produced. If you'd like to see what I come up with next, then feel free to subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. And if you enjoyed this type of content, you can help me produce more by helping me out on patreon.com. Until next time, I hope that you enjoyed these videos, and I'm going to start working on something a little bit more substantial for next time. So until then, bye-bye.